Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the Lynn Lowdown. I'm your host, Wesley Days, and today we are joined by City Clerk Janet Rowe and Election Administrator Karen Richard. Good morning to you both. How are you?
Good morning, Wesley.
Morning. So I know that the big thing for you guys right now is the mail-in voting. It's going to start very soon in the city of Lynn. So can you explain to me how that's going to work?
Okay, I'm going to actually have Karen, she has a few props with her here, and I'm going to let her explain it because she actually is taking in all of the mail-in applications right now. So, right?
Oh, hello. I go quickly through the process. Everyone should have received from Secretary Galvin's office, Secretary of State, the vote by mail application. If you did not receive one, you can call us and we can send you an application that you can complete and mail back to us. When you receive this, it will have your name and address of where you are, what your party you're registered under, and your year of birth. If you're registered as no party or unenrolled, you must select, if you want to vote in the September election, which party you want. Some people are a little confused with libertarian because they think it's unenrolled, right? So they've been calling us and saying, yeah, no, it is an official party, libertarian. So if you want to vote in the September primary and you're unenrolled, select a party, sign the form and return it to us. Once we get your signed application, we'll send you the packet, which has 3 envelopes in it, and the ballot and instructions. So you vote your ballot and you put it in the inner envelope, sign it, put it in the prepaid postage envelope, and return it back to the election office. And once we receive it, see that it's signed, we process the ballot and lock it away until election day, where it will be sent to the polls and counted. It will be fed through the machine just like you were there voting.
So can you tell me the timeline? How much time do people have to vote and make sure that their mail-in ballot gets in on time so that their vote can be counted?
How much time do they have to vote?
Yes, how much time and how many days should they leave themselves to mail in the ballot?
They have the last day to send in the application for the vote by mail is August 26th to mail it in. Once you receive your ballot, you have to have it into our office by September 1st, that election day, the close of polls. It cannot be brought to the polling location. It has to be either mailed or brought in person to Lynn City Hall, the election office.
We have to receive it in our office on September 1st, not postmarked September 1st, because sometimes things get postmarked September 1st and we don't get them till the 2nd or 3rd or 4th.
Right.
Those don't count. We actually have to have it physically in our office on September 1st.
Okay, got it. So I know that
plenty of time to, once they receive it in the mail, which they have received it now, so they have still, I would say I would mail it, at least
as
the
soon as
last
possible,
week in August. Yeah.
As soon as you know that you want to vote by mail.
Right.
got it.
In the instructions, it reads that you can, if you don't get your ballot back in time, if we don't receive it, you can go to the polling location to vote, but the checker at the polling location will have to contact the election office first, because in the check-in book and the checkout book, it is noted that you requested a vote by mail. So they would have to check with our office to make sure that we did not receive the ballot back. And then they will give the okay to vote. So if you have any question about whether you want to vote by mail or not, then you should send it anyway. And then if you change your mind, you can go to the polls.
Absolutely. So that kind of goes right into my next question, which is, I know there's a lot of rumors going out these days, not only just in the community of Lynn, but nationwide, about the issues with mail-in voting and the potential tampering. How are you guys making sure that all ballots are secure during this time?
Well, the vote by mail, first of all, is not new. People have been voting by absentee ballot for many years, but they've had a reason. This year, the governor says, a president, whatever, you don't need a reason. We just want people to have the opportunity to vote. You know, you shouldn't have to choose between, you know, safety and your right to vote. So that's why this mail-in vote is going out to everyone. But people have been voting by absentee ballot for a long time. Military members, they all vote by mail. People that live out of the country vote by mail. Citizens, I'm sorry, they have to be a U.S. citizen. And so when they get to our office, we have a lot of procedures in place, a lot of safety precautions to take care of that vote. The first thing is that we do not mail everyone a ballot. You have to ask for it. So that's why you have to sign this. You can email us back your application, but we have to be able to see the signature.
It has to be an official signature.
Official signature. Yeah, it can't be electronic. It has to be your hand signature. And we keep those. We actually have signatures here back to 1940 that people registered to vote. We have the signature right online from the Registry of Motor Vehicles. We have them. So when your vote is sent back and you have to sign it that you voted, we match those signatures. We match it with the signature that you sent in. So we know it's you. So that's the first thing that we do to try to avoid any fraud. You know, I mean, I don't know how else we could determine if someone's living with you and I don't know, signs your name. If it doesn't match it, we're going to question it. We also have a checklist. So when your vote comes in, Karen will take it. She'll enter it into the state system that we received your vote. And then it'll be checked off in the books that all the poll workers get. So that say you came in and said you wanted to vote, like Karen just said, you'd already be checked off that you voted. That's when the poll worker would call our office and say, this person said they did not return the ballot. We'd look it up, she'd check it and say, that's right, we did not receive the ballot. He's allowed to vote at the polls. So there's checklists all in place. You know, people just can't come in and vote under somebody else's name, or, you know, if they've already voted, we're double checking it. So we do have a lot of, we have checks and balances in place for that.
Absolutely. So I know that mail-in voting is going to be probably one of the most primary ways that people are going to vote in this upcoming election. Will people in the community of Lynn still have the opportunity to go out physically and vote, or will it just be done mail-in?
So we're offering 3 options to vote. That's something that everybody should, you know, be clear on. No one's making you vote by mail. You don't have to. That's just a wonderful option that's given to people so that that are afraid to come out. So you can vote by mail. Beginning August 22nd through the 8th, you can come to City Hall and vote in our early voting. That's going to be right out here in the foyer of City Hall. And I don't know if you've come before, but we've had it already a couple of times now. We're going to be using the auditorium. We'll have 1 entrance going in, 1 exit going out. It's going to be a nice, you know, smooth flow. We're going to respect all the guidelines that the Public Health Director, Michelle Dismaris, has given us to make sure that we're 6 feet apart, that we have sanitizer. Poll workers are going to have, what do you call them? The shields. Shields, so that, you know, and masks. We're going to ask everyone to wear a mask. We're going to ask everyone to sanitize before they vote. And the same procedures will be done on Election Day. So if you feel safe enough that you want to come into City Hall, this is the first year that we're going to be doing Saturday and Sunday. Not my idea, but the state's. But we will be open from 8 to 2 on Saturday and Sunday, and then the full week regular business hours in City Hall. And lastly, if you want to come on voting day, we want you to come. We're gonna make it as safe as we can. We hope that you feel safe enough to come. Like I said, we're following all the guidelines on how many people will be allowed into the gyms. We feel that the gyms are large enough so that, you know, we can spread all of the polls out. And, you know, the doors are big enough that we can have entrance and exits. So like I said, you have 3 options to vote.
Got it. Absolutely. Got it. So, you know, this is a big thing I know personally for me as a college student. if college students from out of state want to vote in the Massachusetts election, but their college is out of state, so they can't be home when it's time to vote for their election, what can they do to make sure that their vote gets counted in the city of Lynn?
And this is another thing that we've been doing all along, and I think a lot of people don't know about it, but I'm going to have Karen talk to you about that because she handles all of these students all the time. So, Karen?
Yes, they would vote absentee voting, which
Okay.
you have an application. You can either get one off of Secretary Galvin's website. We can mail you one, email you one. We need an original signature on it as well. Mail it back, email it back, fax it back. I can mail the ballot wherever you say to mail the ballot. We mail it.
Okay.
You know, so you have to provide enough time, depending on how far away the college is.
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. So, will there be a way for Lynn community members to know when their vote is received in the office? Will they get like a notification or a piece of mail saying your vote has been counted and it's been received to our office?
So Karen has the information on that. She can show you that as well from the Secretary of State's office. Okay, find my voter status. There you go.
Yeah.
There he is.
Yeah, if you go on to Secretary Galvin's website, and it'll say it also on the bottom of the instructions that you receive. I don't know if you can see it. It says track my ballot, trackmyballot.com, and just put in your name and forget what else, whatever information they ask for, and it will come up when your ballot was mailed and when it was received in our office. It goes into VRIS, the Voter Registration Information System from Massachusetts.
Got it. Perfect.
Online, or you can call us and ask. It won't be counted until election day when it's fed into the voting machine at the polling location.
And they can check that.
But,
too, right?
oh yes, yes. Also, I have so many people here, I can tell. Check this. If you want to check your voter status, you can also go to Secretary Galvin's website and put in your date of birth and address, and it'll say whether you click on check my voter status. It'll tell you whether you're registered, if you're active or inactive. If you're inactive, it means that we don't know where you are. You might have to fill out a special form on election day to correct your address, but you can still vote. And also will say which ballots. You can look at your sample ballot. You can click on the Democrat, Republican, Green Rainbow, or Libertarian and see who is on the ballot. So before you go to the polls, if you want to go to the polls, or before you get your vote by mail or absentee ballot.
Absolutely. And so my next question, I think you talked about this perfectly, and it kind of rolls right in again, how can men and women best prepare for the mail-in voting or for voting in general? Because I think oftentimes people just go to the polls and vote for the person that they see first, and then that's their vote. So what can they be doing now to get the education they need to be the best voter out there?
Well, we're always pushing that. We want people to be informed. Take the time to register to vote. You should take the time to find out who's running. A lot of times people just want to go in and vote for one person, and that's their right. But if they did go online, you can look up the parties, everyone who is running, especially people that are unenrolled. They haven't declared a party yet. So that is something that they may want to do a little research on. How do I want to vote? I can vote a Republican ballot, a Libertarian, a Green Rainbow, or a Democrat. You have 4 choices. You can only pick one for the primary. It doesn't matter in the regular election, but in the primary it does. So I would say go online, go on our city website. You can go on the City of Lynn website, and as soon as we get the ballots, Karen will put them on as specimen ballots, so you'll be able to see who's running. I absolutely would go on the Secretary of State website.
They're on there now.
Oh, they're on there now.
Yeah.
Okay. And, check and see, are you a registered voter? Some people aren't even a registered voter, or maybe active. And that's something that you want to take care of so that you won't have problems when you get to the polls.
You can change that. You can register to vote. If you have a valid Massachusetts ID, you can register to vote or update your voter status or party change through the computer.
Absolutely.
Yep.
So, my final question, and I want to make sure people get the dates right and make sure that they have the perfect timeline so that they have the right time to mail in their votes and make sure they have everything ready to go. So for our viewers, one last time, can you explain to me the timeline that they have, for when they get the application, when they need to send it in, when they're supposed to send the mail-in ballot in, and then all of the extra steps that need to follow?
Okay. Will Karen give those?
Yes, the deadline to send in the application for the vote by mail for the September 1st primary is August 26th. And the deadline for the November 3rd is October 28th. You should, as soon as you know that you want to vote by mail or absentee vote, you should send it in as soon as possible. Don't forget to sign it, because then I'll have to return it to you for a signature.
Got it.
And get your ballot completed as soon as you can. Either pop it in the mail, which is postage prepaid. Don't forget to sign the inner envelope, the affidavit envelope, and get it to us as soon as you can.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Miss Karen
Well,
Richard.
all of those things on our website as well.
Okay, perfect.
And I also just want to, reiterate about, the safety that we're taking for people to vote. Unfortunately, we've had a lot of our poll workers that have backed out, and, they just don't feel safe enough, I guess. And so we've had to replace them with a lot of college students. If you're looking to work on election day, think about it. Okay.
Got it. I will.
Everybody we know, we're trying to get people to work for us. But we are doing everything we can. Like I said, we're following the guidelines of the public health department. But I do want to thank all of our poll workers. When you go to vote, please thank them, because they're our heroes. They're coming out to work the polls, and believe me, they don't do it for the money, because they don't get paid much. They're good citizens, they're good, they're good people, and they love Lynn. Are also our election commissioners. We have Sue Lang and Paul Emerald and Tom Dill, and they are the ones that make sure your vote gets delivered, hand delivered to the polls on voting day. And like I said, those are locked up, and they are given to the warden and the clerk in the presence of the police officer. So
Sealed envelopes.
Sealed envelopes. You don't have to worry at all about your vote. We're going to take good care of it.
Absolutely. So thank you to City Clerk Janet Rowe and to Miss Karen Richard for being on the call today and on our Lynn Lowdown for today. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you so much, Wesley.
Thank you so much. This has been another edition of the Lynn Lowdown, and it will be up on lctv.org very, very soon. Have a good night, everyone. Good morning. Good morning, everyone.